All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Retail Happenings with me, Tim. Today, we have a very special guest, Mr. Kon Wai Luen, editor at Aurizn. Kon, thanks for joining us today.
Yes, and my daughter is here with us.
Yay, so cute, so cute. Okay, so maybe you want to do a short introduction of yourself first.
Okay. All right, hi guys. So my name is Kon, and I am a presenter with Aurizn, evomalaysia.com. So our platform, we started off reviewing cars. Okay, so cars is our strength, and but now we are also branching into other lifestyle segments. So we have our group. We have started new titles: Estate Malaysia, ID Malaysia, Karat Malaysia, that talks about property, talk about interior design, talk about luxury goods, because we found that through our interaction with our audience, the cars have a way of pulling people together. So, like for example, sometimes you do a weekend drive. You say you're announcing that, guys, this weekend we are driving to Genting, morning have breakfast and come back. 30 cars, 40 cars will turn up. Okay, but we also found that these people, this loyal audience of us, right, whom we are very grateful for, they don't just buy cars. They also, they also run businesses. They also buy property. They also buy luxury goods, which is why we started this concept of introducing this different niche of titles, so that we communicate with this same audience, but allow us to channel different messages to them.
Awesome. I think you have a very good point there. So I mean, and that's the reason why I wanted to talk to you today, right? Because I kind of thought that we're talking about retail. I think a lot of people miss the effect of how purchasing a car can actually be kind of a lead-in to, and it contributes to the consumption of the economy as well. And
right, correct.
We're dealing with consumption basically. So today, actually, I guess I wanted to start off with asking you, what do you think about the current market condition for cars coming out as we are moving into the recovery MCO period?
I think that firstly, I think that there are two ends of the spectrum. There are people, of course, who have lost their jobs, who are struggling to make ends meet. These people won't be out buying cars. But at the same time, me and my colleague Bobby, we have been doing car buying Q&A on our YouTube channel throughout the MCO period. Our users drop messages on our Facebook, on our YouTube, to ask us about car buying advice. And these guys, they are not asking us about, entry-level cars. They are asking us about, hey, do you think I should buy the new 3 Series or the C Class? Or E Class, 5 Series, Maserati? So there is that. So we have a situation where there are a lot of rich people who are not terribly affected by the MCO, and they have this pent-up demand, this pent-up need to shop. So I mean, like during this period, I have actually quite a number of friends who bought cars during this period. So the car buying appetite is still there, right? Obviously, it will be affected, but the car buying appetite is definitely there.
Okay, I mean, but so that being said, right? Do you think that a car brand like, let's say, Honda or Toyota, being more of a mid-range car, right? Do you think their sales then will be affected because, like you mentioned, the Q&As are mostly towards like the high-end models, and I would imagine, right, for those who really need a car, they will be thinking about a step down now. So if they were to buy a Honda, they were thinking, okay, can I go for a lower
Yes.
step down of a car? So do you think that that's going to affect the mid-range, the brands that are targeting the mid-range of the segment?
Yes, actually, I think we have seen this many times before. Even in a normal economic crunch, right? The first group of brands that get hit are the mid-range ones. They are the middle class ones. These are the ones that will kena the first. So definitely they'll be the first to be impacted, because somebody who was before, even during the good times, they were just about to reach that affordability level, just about to cross the 100K barrier. Then they say, hey, maybe I don't need to do that now. Maybe I will, instead of buying a Civic, maybe I'll just buy a Honda City. Or maybe instead of a Honda City, I'll buy a Proton Persona. You know, that kind of thing. But the need for a car is still there for a lot of people. And the other factor also is that now, right, with the virus still out there, people are also a bit more cautious against taking public transport, right? So there will be this segment of people who think that, hey, I'm going to need a car, but they may not be able to afford a brand new car. So from there, this may spur interest toward buying affordable used cars. But and I was chatting with a friend of mine who runs a dealership yesterday. He was saying that the demand for the 300K upward cars are still there. So it's the middle-aged guys that get squeezed lah.
Okay. I think. So what do you think those brands need to be doing right now? Do they need to make their offerings more effective? That means you're talking about even more extended warranty or throw in more freebies. What do you think they need to do?
I think the what do you call it? The message that they need to go into is, now most people buy car using bank loan, right?
Yeah.
Right, by bank loan, right? Hardly anybody you see buy car just take out 80,000, 100,000, 200,000, put down. So one of the messages that they can do is that you have to bank on monthly installments as the main headline figure. So when you point out that owning, say for example, right, jumping from a national brand to a brand new Japanese B segment, the difference is 200, 300 ringgit a month. When you put that thinking into people's mindset, then it reduces the perceived barrier of entry into these brands. Because I think in Malaysia the psychology is that our country, now our two national brands, Proton and Perodua, they make decent cars, but because of their price positioning, right, a lot of Malaysians aspire, right, from where they are to jump to something higher up. So what a lot of brands what the middle range brands can do is that they have to come up with a marketing message to tell these people who are intending to make the jump up that it is actually not as big a jump as you may think it is.
Okay, I see. I mean, that's a very good point. But I think which leads into the next point of our discussion. What do you think about the latest round of incentives, like the exemption of sales tax? What effect is that going to be what effect is that going to be to kind of be a catalyst to jumpstart the consumers want to consume or to start purchasing cars or to even look at it?
Of course, it would definitely help, right? In retail, nothing beats discounting to get people to buy things, right? What I can foresee is it will stir a purchasing intention. But as I said earlier, this is a time also where a lot of people lost their jobs. So that is a large chunk of the population that are just taken out of the equation from the car buying process, even if they want to. All right. But then again, there are also people who are doing fine, or that still need to buy a car. And car buying is a cycle. A lot of people, after 3 years, after 5 years, they decided that it's time for them to change car. And continuously there are people who are entering this phase that will still need to buy their car. But what I foresee is that people who were initially thinking of buying a car next year would bring their decision forward. And we saw this during the last time when they had GST holiday. Okay. The actual difference in terms of pricing, right? It's very small. It's only 3 to 6% of the car's overall price. If you look at it,
yeah.
The thing is that let's say right now, right? You were thinking of changing car ahead of Chinese New Year next year. You want to wait for January 2021, new 2021 car coming. All right. But now suddenly, you know, hey, if I buy before December, I get 6% less. Chances are you will speed up your purchase. But this would mean that all those people who intended to buy in next year, they brought their purchase forward, right? That would then leave a vacuum in 2021. It's the same thing that we saw during the GST tax holiday period. Everybody, they just rushed to buy cars during that period. But at that time, we were not dealing with a recession. So this time, there won't be the same kind of rush. But whoever it was that intended to buy cars in 2021 would have brought forward their purchase. That would, for this year in the short term, stabilize the demand for cars. But next year, the demand there should be a drop in demand. They brought forward their purchase.
So do you think that we're actually robbing from the future to pay our present? And do you think what do you think is going to happen in 2021? Are we just kind of like staving off the inevitable pain now? But we're still gonna have the pain later, or
the
what?
Pain for COVID-19 is long term, if you ask me. We are looking at least even from the day that we do not know when we will be free from COVID-19, but from the time when the world declares itself free from COVID-19, right, to the time where we witness a full recovery, we are talking about a time frame of 1.5 2 years easy. Right?
Okay.
There are a lot of people who take a lot of time to get back on their feet, and I would assume that there will be a lot of people who may even be going into bankruptcy because their business collapse, they lose their job, cannot service loan and all that.
Well, I mean, so I mean, I think which leads into the next discussion. I mean, for people like us who are actually involved in the designing of retail outlets, right? With more people actually, like you said, people, we are still in the shadow of COVID, right? How are people then shopping for their cars? If they're if there's going to be is the question, is there a fear of going back to the showrooms? And if there is, then what are they doing to kind of overcome that?
Now, if you ask me, the need for the showroom will always be there. But in this period, the showroom, the arrangement of things within the showroom, will need to take into account social distancing. Right? You need to give everybody plenty of room. Some facilities like all the children's play area, the lepak lounge, all those may no longer be able to cater to as many people. But allow me to bring us back to a time before COVID-19. For the last few years, right, we have been observing that, actually more than last few years, people have already shifted a large chunk of their car buying process online. Okay, even though the final transaction is still done at showroom level, but a large chunk of decision-making process is already done online. Why? Let me explain. Because the last few years, people have been you can read reviews online. Websites are popping up online that allow you to compare spec to spec of cars. So there are websites out there that allow you to, okay, this is a Honda City, this is a Toyota Vios. You see line by line what's the difference, and from there it helps your research. So for the longest time, right, the research phase of the car buying decision making, right, is already moved online. And I think a year or two ago, Google shared this little insight with us, and they did a survey amongst Malaysian car buyers. They found that 90%, more than 90% of Malaysian car buyers depend on YouTube videos to make their car purchasing decision. Okay, so that is where that's how we arrive at our format. I think if you have seen my car review format,
yeah,
very polished, like panning shot, high production value kind of thing. It's a more down to earth. We park a car at an open spot, then we take our camera and we just walk around the car and we point things out at the car. The approach of this is it gives the user, the viewer, that feeling that he or she is standing right there next to us while we show them the car around.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So there's a deliberate reason why our videos are a bit rough over the edges, because we want to give that raw feeling to them.
See,
Now,
I see. Wow. I never noticed that, but that's great.
so that when you have all this in play, right, it gives them a more accurate picture of what to expect when they see the real car. So they would have gone. So let's say like when you're buying, say, a Mazda CX-5, okay, for example, you will look for videos of the CX-5. You read up. You also read up on CRV, Volkswagen Tiguan, all Nissan X-Trail, all the competitors in the segment. You would have searched all their videos, and in your mind, right, you will already at that before you even step out of the house, you already have a mind, have an idea in your head. What are you looking at really? What are you thinking of? What is your thinking process? So, so after this is where the showroom still comes into play. That is when the consumer will go and see and touch and feel the car personally, experience the car personally, and at that stage, right, when the consumer steps into the showroom, many a time, right, it's already not about seeing the car. From what people tell me, they are going from showroom to showroom hunting for the best discounts. All right, and like the other day, I was speaking to another retailer. According to him, showroom footfall has dropped. So it means that previously there were 100 people walking into the showroom a week. Now there are 40. But the percentage of people who actually put booking down from these walk-ins are much higher. So previously, after 100 people walk in, right, maybe only 40, 50 people put booking down. But now out of 40 people walk in, 30 or 35 people are putting their bookings down already. So these people, by now, right, the need for the showroom is still there, to in a way to seal the deal. Yeah.
I think I picked up on something you said just now. I just wanted to, maybe you can delve in a little bit on it. You said just now people are going from showroom to showroom hunting for the best discounts. Yeah. So generally, you're saying that different showrooms have they offer different types of discounts, and I always had I was always under the impression that it was the same brand, same pricing, whichever.
Now the practice varies from brand, okay, but it also depends on how hungry the salesperson is. Okay, each brand has different discount practices. Every brand has different incentive scheme for the salespeople. But so some brands, they control their discount very tightly. When they will tell their dealers, they say that you cannot give more than X amount of discount beyond what we say. So, but some, they are a bit more lax. And if, let's say, like, you're so lucky, you walk into a showroom, right? You chance upon that salesman who is one sale away from hitting his target and nailing a bigger incentive. That guy will move heaven and earth to make sure that you buy the car from him.
True.
So it's, let's say, like right now, right now, my target is to sell five Mazda CX-5s a month. I already sold 4 already. You walk in, you look at the CX-5, you are potentially my 5th customer. If I hit this target, I get another incentive. So I will be very motivated to even sacrifice my margin as a salesman to you so that I can nail that incentive.
Okay, I see.
Using just now, just saying as an example, I their commission and all that, but commonly these are the kind of things that happen. And also nowadays, most brands, they have different dealerships. So like, let's say, like Honda, for example, your Honda in Jalan Tututu and your Honda in USJ, in where, right? They are the showrooms are run by separate business entities. So each of these showrooms, right? They have, I mean, the structure, the what you call it, the incentive structure, all is the same lah. But they probably have different practices,
Mm.
different what you call it, different stock levels to manage. So different showrooms, right? Can get different deals.
I see. That being said, right? Do you think just I mean I don't think we have it here, but do you think then the Tesla model works better, where Tesla controls everything from the production to the showroom to that means they don't go through in this case the same model as what Honda, different business entities selling their cars or dealers, and that means that they control the whole vertical experience of the customer from the production all the way to the end showroom. It's all them. Do you think that model works better for consumers, or do you think that our existing model is a better way of doing it?
It all boils down to the execution lah. Let's put it that way. But I mean, if you ask me, there are no such thing as a bad idea. It all boils down to the execution. And for the consumer, when I go and shop for a new car, the first thing I expect is a hassle-free experience. There's no such thing as a bad idea. It's whether it's how you execute it. And you know, for a consumer buying a new car, what I would really expect is for the brand to provide me with a seamless buying experience, to process my car loan in a one-stop solution. Mm-hmm. So if Tesla can, or any interested party can work out such a model, okay, such an experience, and maintain profitability, then it can work. But actually, right, if you think of it, before this, back in the 90s or even before that, right, distributors, you know, they typically operate their whole range of dealerships. So, like, you know, back then when Eon used to sell Proton, then the BMW Toyota Motor, Jalan Tanjong sell their Toyota, Nissan, and all that, right? What we observe over the last few years is that they are moving away from that branch concept to individual dealerships. So that way, the car brand focuses exclusively on marketing, promoting the car. They distribute the car, and at the consumer level, the dealers will deal with the consumer.
I think that makes a lot of sense. So okay. So do you think that then, as you mentioned just now, just before we let you off today, you mentioned that the closing of the sale happens at the showroom. Yeah. How do you think the COVID experience is going to play havoc on? Let's say different people are going to be test driving the car. You know, how do you think? What do you think car companies do? They need to increase the sanitization of the car, like after every one or more test cars at the different?
They already are.
Okay.
What you call it? The standard procedure now is every time before a car goes up for test drive, it has to be sanitized. Then of course in the car they have social distancing where only one customer allowed to drive, and then the salesperson sit at the opposite end of the car.
Okay.
And then after the test drive is done, come back, the car is sanitized again. Same when if you were to send your car into an official service center, the cars will be upon arrival at the thing, they will sanitize the car, and then after they finish work, the technicians finish doing their work, before handing back to you, the cars will be sanitized again.
Okay.
Now many brands are even offering free pickup, service for. So they'll come to your doorstep, they collect your car, and after once they're done, they send the car back to you.
Okay. But I think, would you have any insight into how do they sanitize the cars?
The specific procedures I do not know, but I've seen videos of them. How they do it is They will spray the disinfectant on all the touch points, Lord, the steering wheel, the
Mm.
gear knob, the seat, the dashboard, the door card, all the points where you typically lay your fingers on, they will spray disinfectant lah.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay. That's right. So I think that's about maybe all the time we have. But just before I let you off, just one more question.
Yeah.
We are moving closer and closer towards the end of the moratorium.
Yeah.
So just before we go today, right? What do you think the end of that moratorium is going to look like? Are we gonna? Is there going to be a lot of cars that are going to be flooding the second-hand market because no one can keep up with the payments, or what do you think is going to happen?
I'm sure that's going to be the case. I'm sure that's going to be the case. So those people, if you have a bit of money, you want to hunt for a used car, right? The end of the moratorium period will be a time where there'll be a lot of bargains.
Great.
What I fear would be there will be a lot of case of sambong bayang where people the selling price, the market price of the car is not enough to cover the loan.
Mm-hmm.
So they will resort to sambong bayang, which is illegal. I have to emphasize, right? Basically, what happens is that, let's say like right now, right, I cannot afford to upkeep my car, so I pass the car to you, Tim. You go and take the car and you continue to pay my installment, that kind of thing. So that's not legal. All right, I highly discourage it. But out of desperation, I see that I will see. I think I'll see that happening more frequently, even more frequently. A lot of these cars will be flooding in the market.
But I mean, for that to happen, right, there's got to be some level of trust between the buyer and the seller, right?
Yeah, you are taking a big risk. Believe me.
Yeah. Because now, not only do you not have the car, you can't sell out, and if that person doesn't make the payment, you are. So what is the incentive for them to kind of go down that route actually?
Desperation. They just, because the simple fact is the car's market value. Let's say they just cannot get get back the amount to cover their loan.
Okay.
That's all. It's desperation lah. It's desperation.
I see. Okay, great. Okay. Thanks so much for your time. But just wondering, before we go off, right? Do you have anything else you wanna cover, or any events that your site, your channel is going to be hosting soon, and you want to plug that in?
Oh well, actually, if you asked me 2 weeks ago, I had something very exciting to share. We have closed for submission, but I just want I just want to share with you anyway, since this is sort of related to your industry, right?
Yes.
So at present, our company, we are collaborating with Volvo Cars and EcoWorld to run an interior design challenge. Okay, where I think it's out of the many projects that I've done with my company, I think this is the one that I'm most proud of, because we will be rewarding the winners of this project actual contracts, all right, whereby they are winning interior designs. Eco will pay them, will give them a contract to translate their designs into reality. They will be given a contract to build actual units, okay, according to their design, and these units will then be sold to the end user. So where Volvo Cars come into the picture is that the challenge is to implement Swedish Scandinavian design, minimalism, less is more, tasteful, efficient, okay, into a home space.
Oh wow, that was. But I think the contest over already, right? Yeah.
I would have invited you, but because
I totally understand. So I think it's a very interesting idea that Aurizn and EcoWorld together with Volvo. I think it's a very interesting idea that you all came up with.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe more developers will follow suit that kind of model.
And we just closed our entries, but we've got very, very good. I think we've got about 50 over firms participating.
Wow. Yeah. That is huge, and it's also hopefully you guys be announcing the winners soon.
Now we are going into the next phase where they will be briefed what is the parameters, the rules for the next stage of the challenge. So it's getting very exciting. Yeah.
All right, great. So thanks, Kon, so much for your time today. I think we learned a lot about the car market. In fact, what are the things that how the industry is adapting to our new normal, as what we call. So if we didn't have a chance to take any questions today, so that our viewers today, if you have any questions for Kon or myself, please put them in the comment section. And of course, more importantly, we'll be having a session on the 26th of June where I'll be talking about the 3 deadly mistakes that retailers are making post-opening. So there are still some of the very big mistakes they have. So reserve your seats there at the link. Yeah, on Zoom. We're going to be having it on Zoom at about 5:30. So everyone should be able to tune in then. Kon, again, thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much for your insights, and looking forward to your next car review soon.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
All right, talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.
Today's show is brought to you by CM Eco, a supply and distribution of biodegradable food packaging and eco-friendly products. They also conduct education and awareness programs online. To find out more about CM Eco, go to their Facebook page at cm.eco or their YouTube page, CM Eco. They're also having a promo today on 15% off all your orders with promo code of CMEHOME15. That's CME Home 15. Consider supporting us by supporting them.